You ever think your life is going fine, and then you meet a burger that makes you question evolution? Welcome to Maple Springs, Colorado, the kind of small mountain town where Wi-Fi signals fade faster than summer crushes, and everyone knows who's been brave enough to take on the Titan Burger Challenge at Benny's Diner. Enter Caleb Porter, 31, a software tester turned reluctant local celebrity after one viral clip of him tripping over a lawn chair during last year's 4th of July parade. Since then, the town's been calling him Captain Graceful. He doesn't hate it much. It's late August, sun blaring down like it's trying to toast the rooftops. The air smells like sizzling beef, melted cheese, and small town competition. Every Labor Day weekend, Benny's Diner hosts the Titan Burger Challenge, a ridiculous 10-inch tall burger stacked with bacon, double beef patties, fried onions, pickles, and enough melted cheddar to violate cheese laws in 3 states. Eat it in under 30 minutes, and you get your photo on the Wall of Fame, plus free burgers for a year. Fail, and you're immortalized on the Hall of Shame, with a sad clown emoji drawn next to your name. Caleb never thought he'd join. But sometimes, a little peer pressure, 2 beers, and the wrong kind of confidence spark heroism. It all started that Friday night. The air was hot, the kind that makes the asphalt shimmer like it's got opinions. Caleb sat outside Benny's with his friends Marty, Lisa, and Donna, watching tourists lick melting ice cream. The diner's neon sign flickered. Benny's, home of the Titan. Lisa, the town's unofficial instigator, smirked. Come on, Caleb, you've been talking about self-improvement all month. This is personal growth. Through calories. Marty leaned back in his metal chair. Yeah, man, you're always saying you need a challenge. Well, it's right there. Challenge literally accepted. Caleb grinned, half in disbelief. You want me to eat a burger that's bigger than my skull? Donna, sipping iced tea, deadpanned, bigger. And probably smarter. That's how it began, an impulsive, why not, from a guy who'd been playing it too safe since he moved back home. The next morning, Maple Springs looked like a Norman Rockwell painting gone slightly chaotic. Families set up lawn chairs for the Grill-Off Games Festival, kids ran through sprinklers, and every porch flag waved like it knew something big was coming. The smell of barbecue smoke drifted across the valley. At 11 a.m., the loudspeaker crackled. All right, folks. Gather round. It's time for the Titan Burger Challenge. Caleb arrived in a faded grey t-shirt reading, Don't try this at home. Try it at Benny's. He wasn't sure if it was confidence or dehydration keeping him upright. Voiceover continues. Some people train for marathons. Some meditate for peace. Caleb Porter, well, he skipped breakfast and wore stretchy jeans. Inside Benny's, the crowd roared as Benny himself, a broad man with a handlebar mustache, brought out the Titan Burger like it was a sacred relic. Cameras flashed. The local paper's intern, Jessie Miller, leaned forward with her phone. Smile, Caleb. You're either going viral again or vomiting on live stream. Caleb gave a mock salute. Hey, fame's fame. The crowd laughed. The burger sat in front of him like a dare from God. Layers glistened in the fluorescent light, beef, bacon, cheese, onions, lettuce, tomato, sauce, and a top bun that looked more like a small hill. He could see his reflection in the grease. 30 minutes, Benny announced. Timer starts. Now. The crowd chanted, eat, eat, eat. First bite, surprisingly good. Second, terrifying. Third, regret. By the 5th, Caleb looked like he'd just climbed Everest and realized there's a second peak. Halfway through, his friends yelled encouragements. Lisa waved a tiny flag. Marty filmed while laughing uncontrollably. Donna kept yelling, remember to chew, hero. Sweat poured down Caleb's forehead. His hands trembled. The lettuce slid out like it was trying to escape the crime scene. Then came the slapstick moment. He sneezed mid-bite, launching a pickle onto Benny's bald head. The crowd erupted. Benny, wiping it off, shouted, bonus points for aim. Even Caleb laughed, choking on soda. For a brief second, humiliation felt hilarious. By minute 25, his stomach waved a white flag. He leaned back, dazed. Why does victory taste like regret and mayonnaise? Voiceover, they say failure builds character. Caleb was currently constructing a full personality out of beef. He didn't finish the burger. The timer buzzed, the crowd cheered anyway. Benny patted his shoulder. That was brave, kid. You lasted longer than the mayor. Lisa raised her cup. To trying, and to not dying. As Caleb stood, someone in the crowd yelled, you'll get it next year. He turned, laughing, wiping sweat off his chin. Next year, I'll need 6 months of lettuce therapy. Later that evening, the golden hour hit Maple Springs like a movie filter. Caleb sat on a bench outside Benny's, watching the sunset bounce off the red brick buildings. He held a small takeout box, the half of the burger that beat him. A breeze rustled through. The town was quiet, cozy, and alive. Voiceover: it wasn't about finishing the burger. It was about showing up. Sometimes, progress is measured in bites, not miles. And even if you choke on a pickle along the way, hey, at least you aimed well. Caleb smiled to himself, greasy and oddly proud. The smell of charcoal and laughter lingered in the air. For the first time in months, he wasn't thinking about his job, his failures, or that stupid parade fall. Just the simple, ridiculous joy of trying. There's something strangely profound about failing a burger challenge. Somewhere between the second bun and the third regret, you learn humility. And indigestion. It was Sunday morning, 2 days after Caleb Porter's epic defeat. The August heat had softened into that late summer warmth, the kind that makes you want to wash your car but instead, you just stare at it with a coffee in hand. The sunlight poured lazily through the blinds of his small rental house on Elm Street, 2 bedrooms, 1 squeaky screen door, and a yard that could barely decide if it wanted to be grass or gravel. Caleb stood in his kitchen, wearing a t-shirt that read, "Still digesting." His phone buzzed non-stop, local gossip page notifications, meme tags, and one text from Lisa reading, "Congrats on not exploding. Also, you're famous again." He sighed, poured himself coffee, and sat at his counter. There it was, his favorite mug, a chipped ceramic one that read, "Never give up." It had been a gag gift from Donna years ago after he failed his first coding certification exam. He had almost thrown it out once, but now it felt prophetic. Every small-town hero needs a symbol. Some get medals. Caleb got caffeine and sarcasm. He took a sip, wincing slightly at the taste. Dark roast, no sugar, extra life lessons. Just then, there was a knock at the door. It was Benny, still wearing his red apron and that signature mustache that deserved its own zip code. "Kid," Benny said, handing him a white paper bag, "you forgot your prize." Caleb blinked. "I didn't win anything." "Sure you did," Benny grinned. "You won a story. You can't eat it, but it sticks longer than fries." Inside the bag was a smaller burger, half the size of the Titan, wrapped neatly in foil. Written on the wrapper in black marker were the words, "Bite by bite." Benny added, "That's what my dad used to tell me when life felt too big to chew. You don't swallow the whole thing. You take it one bite at a time." He left before Caleb could reply, leaving the smell of grilled beef and unsolicited wisdom behind. Caleb sat back, staring at the wrapper. For the first time, he smiled not at the challenge, but at the idea, the metaphor hiding in plain sight. Maybe he hadn't lost. Maybe he'd just learned to pace his hunger. The rest of the day unfolded like every other lazy Sunday in Maple Springs. The church bells echoed through town, sprinklers hissed along picket fences, and somewhere, Lisa was definitely editing his pickle sneeze moment into a TikTok montage. But something in Caleb shifted. The next week, he dusted off an old sketchbook he hadn't opened since college. Inside were rough doodles, comics, ideas, unfinished projects. He started sketching again, first the burger, exaggerated to look like a skyscraper with him scaling it like an action hero. Then himself, arms raised, wearing a cape that said, "Try again." It felt silly. It also felt right. By September, his sketches turned into digital artwork. Then, into a comic strip, The Guy Who Ate the Sky, a humorous take on trying, failing, and trying again. He posted the first one online, thinking maybe his 3 friends would laugh. Within a week, it had thousands of likes. People commented things like, "I needed this laugh today. Reminds me of my own Titan burger moments. Didn't know motivation could come with fries." Caleb started drawing every weekend. The town that once laughed at him for falling in the parade now stopped to wave, honk, or hand him sketch ideas. Benny even hung his comic strip in the diner, right next to the Hall of Fame, a reminder that sometimes, courage doesn't come from finishing, but from showing up again. It's funny how life feeds you challenges the same way Benny serves burgers, big, messy, and never quite what you ordered. But every bite teaches you something. About patience, about failure, about yourself. One chilly October morning, Caleb sat in Benny's again, laptop open, coffee steaming. His mug still read, "Never give up." But now, he believed it. Lisa walked in, dropping her tote on the counter. "So, rumor says they're renaming the Titan Challenge after you." Caleb raised an eyebrow. The porter pile of regret. She laughed. No, the perseverance platter. The idea came from your comic. Benny says it's time people celebrate trying, not just winning. Caleb chuckled. Guess I'm stuck with being inspirational now. Donna entered next, waving her phone. Your latest post just hit 50k likes. Someone in Portland made a shirt with your burger drawing on it. Marty added, and my cousin in Ohio sent me a photo of a coffee shop wall. Guess what's painted on it? Your never give up mug. Caleb blinked. Seriously? Yup, Donna said. Guess people needed that reminder. He sat back, letting it sink in. The same small act, the same bite, had rippled outward like laughter in a diner. He didn't need to be on a wall of fame. He'd become the mural. Outside, the late fall wind rustled the diner's flags. The mountains beyond Maple Springs stood silent and bright, their peaks catching the morning sun. Life's full of burgers too big to bite. But that's the point, it's not about swallowing it all. It's about taking the next bite, laughing when the pickles hit someone's head, and remembering, progress tastes better with friends. Caleb lifted his mug toward the window like a toast. Here's to big challenges, he muttered, smiling, and even bigger appetites for life. And as the camera pulled back, through the diner, past the bustling streets of Maple Springs, up toward the Golden Mountains, the mug's lettering glinted in the sun. Never give up. Cue credits. Benny laughing in slow motion. Pickle flying again in replay. Caleb's laugh echoing over the sound of sizzling burgers.
Like and subscribe if you want to be happy and motivate.